Hey everyone, this is Jason, and welcome back to another Grand Slam Secret War Journal. That's right, it's like week 6. Things are going pretty strong. We're starting to see a lot more issue number 2s now. We're still waiting for Secret Wars number 4. That did not come out this week. It got delayed a little bit. Hopefully everything's okay, as long as the art's still good. So let's just get right into it. We have a lot of books to talk about. There's 8 of them this week. So let's start off with MODOK Assassin number 2. Alright. So, the first time, I kind of skipped the first issue of this, but see who's on that cover there? That's Angela, and I made a claim recently that says I've tried to read every book that Angela's been in since she came to Marvel, so boo-hoo for me, I had to read some MODOK Assassin number 2. Really redundant book. It was very repetitive, it was just kind of like the same thing over and over. So what was the same thing over and over and over? Well, it was that Angela kind of she's trying to kill MODOK, and MODOK normally likes to kill everything he sees, and he like automatically tries to kill things. He doesn't have control over it, but he's so enchanted by how beautiful Angela is. I mean, look at her. She's got a hammer, and she's got a sword. She's also got spears and swords that just come out of, and no one knows where her weapons come from. But he's just so enchanted by her, he thinks he doesn't want to kill her. And he keeps saying that he doesn't want to kill her, but like his mind is saying no, but his body is telling him yes, like he has to kill her. So who knows what's going on? I think someone's pulling the strings of MODOK out here. Maybe it's the Baron Mordo. Who knows? So that's kind of what's going on with this. Once again, it's just kind of, I don't know. It was very redundant. Like it was page after page of like, I don't want to kill you, but please don't. Don't attack me. Don't try to kill me. I'm not actually trying to kill you. I know you tried to kill me, but I'm really not trying to kill you back. There's a lot of that going on. I could do without that. But otherwise, it wasn't too awful of a book. I don't know if it's worth Angela's time. They got me, though. Like, they got me to read a book for Angela's sake. Angela's sake. This cover looks awesome. I like the art on the cover. But the interior is not so great. No offense, guys. It's just, the cover is really good. Where Monsters Dwell, number 2, Garth Ennis writing. Fantastic pulp. Fantastical fun pulp. What does this have to do with Secret Wars? I don't know. No one knows. But what is happening is, he's behind enemy lines, and this guy, this captain, he's not very competent, and this girl is very competent, and they're both British, and so everything they say kind of has a bit of it, the liberty, and see, I can't even say liberty. Levity. It's British, so it's a British book. There's a little bit of adventuring going on. She makes fun of him. She's married. We still don't know if she's Agent Carter. That's kind of what we're waiting for. But for the big reveal, boom, Agent Carter, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is hanging out with this guy. But we don't know yet. So great art. There's definitely, I'm just going to flip to a random page. There's a giant shark attacking a giant alligator. That's the kind of comic book that this is. Old school pulp. That's what you get from Garth Ennis. At the very end, crazy stuff happens, but we still don't really learn anything, and don't really know what it has to do with the whole Secret War thing. But man, just a fun book. Thanks, Garth Ennis, for kind of giving me a fun little break from whatever I'm reading. Planet Hulk, number 2. Alright, so Planet Hulk, the first one, I told you, Captain America. Different Captain America. He's in an arena, he's in the Colosseum, and he gets to go off to Greenland. So what we find out in this issue is his actual mission is to go find Bucky, who's been kind of captured by the people of there's a guy like the Red King or the Red Hulk King. So it's obviously the Red Hulk. And he's going to go find him, he's going to fight him, and he's going to rescue Bucky. That's kind of what his mission is. In this issue, we meet Doc Green, who is basically Hulk. And they go on adventures. So not a lot happening here, but once again, it's Captain America with the axe, plus Doc Green, who's a Hulk, plus Devil Dinosaur, who's a giant red T-Rex. So these things are happening. It's an adventure book. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't have to be special. It doesn't have to be a highfalutin book. That's what Secret Wars is for. But this is taking place in Battleworld, and this is the Battleworld of which they're in, and the existence that they're fighting for. So who knows what's going to happen? Maybe they get there. There's going to be a huge conflict. Going to be a huge war. Who knows? It's exciting. Got to get excited for Bucky and Captain America. We find out a little bit about this Captain America too. He's definitely a different Captain America. He's not like, the weak Captain America that we knew. So he's not the Captain America of yon olden golden age, but he's a different Captain America. So that's Planet Hulk number 2. So I was a big fan of that one, but it doesn't changing universes or anything. What is changing universes is this book right here, Infinity Gauntlet number 2. All right, so Infinity Gauntlet number 1 was a tale of survival, kind of like Walking Dead, where this family was trying to survive out here in the Annihilation Wave, which are these bug people. This is Beyond the Wall. And then at the end of the issue, their mom shows up, and their mom is in the Nova Corps. And so this issue, we find out that she is apparently pretty high up in the Nova Corps. She can make other people Novas. And she does. She makes her daughters, both of her daughters Novas, her husband, even their dog. I think their dog is named Max, I think. It's a great name for a dog, whatever it is. And they all are flying around in Nova armor, and they're just fighting flying bugs. And they're just a team, and they love each other. They're like the Swiss, they're like the, from Lost in Space. They're like those guys, only they have cool stars on the head, they can fly, and they're not lost in space. They remember I talked about last time they found the Infinity Gem. Well, they found the Infinity Gem, which is the Mind Gem, and the Mind Gem does cool stuff. Couple revelations at the end. Thanos is hanging out, and also some weird group called the Guardians of the Galaxy shows up. So yeah, this is getting good. It's getting exciting. Minds are getting blown. Beyond the Wall and the Annihilation Wave in new Nova Prime or New Nova. Just exciting things are going to be taking place. So I'm excited. You should all be excited. Infinity Gauntlet. Where is this going? Is Thanos going to get all these stones? Is he going to rival Doom for godlike power? Who knows? That would be great, though. All right, so those are the number 2s for the week. Let's talk about some number 1s. These are all brand new titles, brand new books that I have not read anything about yet, including this one, Korvac Saga. So Korvac Saga, I wish I knew more about. This is kind of like old school Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. I don't know too much about it, so I'm a bad person because I don't know everything about comic books. Sorry. In this one here, basically we are following the old Guardians of the Galaxy, including Yondu and all the weird guys from the old Guardians of the Galaxy, and they are in one part of this world. I think it's I don't think it's Utopolis. I don't even know if it talks about where they're from. But there's basically the region that they're in is divided by 2 baronies, and one is Michael Korvac, who is the Korvac Saga reference, and the other barony is run by Simon Williams. He's Baron Williams, who is Power Man, who is an Avenger. He's cool. It's cool stuff. So this place is separated. I think there's going to be a conflict between the 2. Man, I did not buy into this book. I wasn't really excited about anything, but maybe it's just because I don't know anything about the characters. But the characters didn't seem too compelling to me. I didn't learn anything. Like Yondu does some whistling, and he moves his dart sword thing around, kind of like how he did in the movie. But otherwise, also the art's a little flat. It's not kind of what I was looking for. Just lots of a little sloppy style, which works for some comic books. I just don't know if that's what we're trying to look for in this particular book, but what we know is there's some mystery going on, and these 2 teams are going to conflict over it. It's kind of a big wet noodle. This is a book I wasn't really super excited about, and I have to admit that this isn't going to be a very memorable book for me. But you know what? If you like old Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm not going to knock it. If you like Avengers, there's an Avengers team with Simon Williams that he runs, and it's kind of a good old school 1980s team, Hercules and Vision. And I'll just show you the page. I hope it's not a huge spoiler, but that's just old school guys there. Yellow Jacket, you got Captain Marvel, cool stuff. Black Panther. So if you like that kind of goodness, that's for you. So that's my thoughts on Korvac Saga number 1. What I wasn't really disappointed by and thought would be kind of exhausting to get through was Marvel Age of Ultron versus Marvel Zombies. Now, I thought so far both of these Marvel Zombie books have been fantastic, which is weird because I thought they would just be mindless zombie books. That's kind of what they turned into, but there was some humor in those old books. So this actually wasn't that humorful. This is basically, I love it because these stories are involved around the wall, and the wall is a very fascinating place to me. I always like the idea of there's a wall somewhere, and beyond the wall, what is beyond the wall? What lies beyond is just horrible, horrible things that you don't want to run into. And that's a great story. That's compelling. Obviously, people love Game of Thrones. That's some of the people's the favorite part of that story. So, yeah, this is kind of what's beyond the wall. We see that, you know, we know about the robots. We know about the Annihilation Wave. Basically, in this story, we find Tigra, and she's in trouble, and we see her kind of conflicting with people, but someone saves her. So there's people beyond the wall that are competent and are fighting against the evil forces, which is a very good thing. We see someone else getting thrown over the wall. There's always people being put across the wall, so Doom hates everybody. And so this time we find out that Doom doesn't like Hank Pym from a place called Timely. Now, Timely is one of the domains that's like the Old West. It's 1872. Now, we have not seen that book yet. But for whatever reason, Hank Pym is getting cast over the wall because he knows stuff about robots and tries to make robots, Ultron robots, basically. And so he gets asked to go over the wall, and he decides to go. He's asked what part of the wall he wants to go to, and he ends up hanging out with the Ultron robots. So you got Hank Pym and Ultron robots doing stuff, and how does it end? No one knows. But what I can tell you is there are people on the other side, and we've already seen Elsa Bloodstone's on the other side of the wall. They keep throwing cool heroes over. I don't think they're just dying right away. I don't think they're perishing. I think they're building up a resistance. They're going to team together. They're going to fight against these evil people. And then they might come back and they might beat they might beat God Doom. You never know. 2 more books. Real quick. E is for extinction. F is for fail. No, this... I'm not saying this book is bad. So E is for extinction is a throwback to the Grant Morrison run, with Frank Quitely as the artist, and the writer was obviously Grant Morrison. It's a very beloved run. Some people like it. Some people do not. Some people think that the stuff he added in, like Zorn and all of the the second mutations, not good stuff. The art has always been questionable. Frank Quitely, who is no doubt one of the most creative artists in the industry, his style was a little wonky in this E is for Extinction book. But what this book mainly did is it kind of got Wolverine, it kind of got the mutants into a different look and a pattern. They weren't wearing the same spandex, they were wearing more jacket type of stuff. So it definitely changed with the movies kind of our image of what the X-Men look like. So E is for Extinction, man, it's a huge book. It's $4.99. There's a lot going on in here. I can't even begin to explain where to go. Magneto, Xavier's dead. Magneto has a team, and Magneto looks like this guy, Ian McKellen, right there, and he's kind of in a red jacket. It's kind of weird. And he's got a team. You got Quentin Kraken, and then, of course, I don't know if that's his name, but Quentin from the Wolverine and the X-Men. A lot of cool people in here. Even Cyclops, Emma, and Wolverine show up. Zord might make an appearance. You never know. It's big ideas, interesting. It's weird. Like, it's weird X-Men stuff. So I'm doing a really bad job of explaining it. I did enjoy it, but it's definitely not for everybody. I would definitely check it out if you like X-Men weirditudeness. So check that one out. Last but not least, my pick to click, my #1 gun in the sun. Boom. X-Men 92. I think this has been floating around on the internet for the last month or so. X-Men 92 blew my mind of my expectations. I had been talking about this book, and in my mind I was like, it's going to be the cartoon. It's going to be just like the cartoon book. It's the cartoon roster. Storm, Gambit, Wolverine, Rogue, Jubilee, Professor X. Like, it's the team from the cartoon. And so I thought it'd be really simplistic. I'm like, well, that's a funny idea. Like, having the cartoon as like a whole Doom world, that's a clever idea. So what happened, though, is you start reading it, and first off, I mean, they start off at a laser tag mall, and you're like, yes, playing laser tag, the mutants are having fun like they always do, team building exercises without always being in the danger room, and then things go bad, like a Sentinel shows up. And I'm like, okay, this is like the most classic type of X-Men story ever. And then in the middle of it, the X-Men have to go check out a place. I can't remember what it's called, but it's it's called the Mount. It's like a Clear Mountain Institute. So they go out to Clear Mountain where they're trying to reform mutants, and things get really interesting from there. It's a thick book, $4.99. This reminds me more of a Chris Claremont book, and not what I was expecting to be kind of a garbage 90s story, like a cartoon book. I highly recommend this if you like the X-Men, if you like what the X-Men are truly meant to be. Really cerebral stuff, fun stuff. I can't talk much longer. So that's my picks for this week, or that's my thoughts on all the books that came out this week. This is Jason at Grand Slam, 1730 West Eisenhower, and I hope to see you soon. Please come in and talk to me about all these books. I love to talk about Secret Wars with you. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a great week. And if you have any thoughts, please comment down below.